Hello, I'm William Morley Black. Here is my headstone, which is in Blanding, Utah. I'd like you to know a little bit about my travels that led me there. I lived in Orderville, Utah for a time. In 1888 I spent 1 year playing hide-and-seek with the U.S. Marshal, but got tired of the play, so I took Louisa and the youngest family and skipped for Old Mexico. We built up a wonderful community abounding in wealth. Many of my children married and started their own families in Mexico. My daughter, Mary Bell Black, married James Franklin Carroll. My families had become so firmly anchored in Mexico. So many of the children had married and built up homes of their own. When the rebel war broke out between Madero and Diaz, we hoped we could stay. But, on the 28th of July 1912, just as our Sabbath meeting was closing, a messenger arrived and gave us notice that the entire community must be ready to leave by Tuesday morning. We packed up, and as we looked back over our homes, the sun shone on the houses, making them look like houses from a fairy tale. The little town surrounded by hills and towering pine trees was home for many of these people. For 20 years they had spent their life's entire energy here. Now they were leaving it. 22 train wagons were loaded, all crowded full with the aged and the young, but mostly with women and children, as many of the men were staying to look after the stock. Promptly at 7 in the morning the train started to move. In this photo, the little boy in front is my 4-year-old grandson, Wayne Carroll, standing behind my daughter, Mary Bell Black. Then commenced in earnest the hard day's drive to Pearson. I feel thankful to the good citizens of El Paso for the aid and sympathy they gave us. We stayed there a short time, in an abandoned lumber yard camp 2 miles from town. We then took the train to Price, Utah, and then we were soon on the road to Huntington, Utah, our old home nest, where many of the children still reside. We moved to Grayson, Utah, and lived there the rest of our lives. The expulsion from our home was almost forgotten in the joy we found in meeting so many affectionate and loving children. It made me feel that while I may have been a failure financially, yet I had the power and the blessing to found a patriarchal family and name that shall last in Israel after I have passed away, and that knowledge comforts me.